My name is Sara Hanks, and I am currently the Senior Director of Project Management at GE Transportation, now a Wabtec company. I've had roles in engineering, quality, and manufacturing, but for the past decade, I've led digital transformation teams at GE Transportation. As we look towards a more sustainable future, the rail industry plays a major part. Rail is the most sustainable form of transporting goods and people. Wabtec is one of the largest providers of locomotives and tech-based equipment globally. We have 25,000 employees in 50 countries. Our products are highly engineered to enhance safety, improve productivity, and reduce maintenance costs. Our latest innovations take a giant step towards clean energy with the introduction of our battery electric and hydrogen fuel locomotives. So let us take a step back in time to 2011. We had a supplier that wanted to use a material that was different than what was specified. And engineering, they didn't get the opportunity to approve that material. Well, they made it anyway, the parts went out to the field, and they failed. We had two similar circumstances, and those issues alone ended up costing us $11 million in field modifications. All of these could have been prevented with a software-based quality management system. Our business decided that we were going to invest in a software solution to prevent these issues, and I was there on day one. I was the original program manager, and we started with 14 vendors from Gartner, and we had 100 specific business requirements that we needed to meet. Well, I'm happy to say that ETQ's Reliance platform was the only vendor that could meet all 100 of those requirements. Just like Kimberly-Clark, we started internally. We focused on those business processes to help drive quality. We wanted to add rigor and improve our process efficiency. From there, we extended it to our supply chain with supplier qualification. Our suppliers are required to prove that they can make the parts to the quality specifications before they're ever allowed to do business with us. And finally, we connected it to our ERP system. So in the event that a supplier decides they would like to substitute the material, they cannot ship until engineering has approved that change. But we're not done yet. And so overall, the benefits far exceeded our initial estimates. Across the board, we've seen a 25% reduction in defects, which in turn was a $30 million reduction in cost of quality. With the workflows and the escalations, we've seen $12 million of productivity. But we aren't done. At one of our factories in South Carolina, we make brakes for passenger trains. Quality is mission critical to the safety of the people who take trains to work every day. And what you don't see is how much work it takes to make these brakes with good quality. Well, we couldn't see it either, because anytime there was a defect discovered in the quality control process, it was documented manually. We have customers that require us to fulfill orders 100%. And so one defective part will actually stop our shipment, and we are unable to collect that revenue, and we have unhappy customers. We needed a solution. We needed to be able to see those issues immediately and drive the process. The solution for us was an integration. We have integrated Hexagon's QDOS platform with ETQ's Reliance platform. And so now, after the parts are made, they are measured. The data is collected in QDOS and automatically fed into Reliance. In the event that one of the parts is not meeting specification, a non-conforming material report is automatically generated. Teams are alerted immediately and can take action. Managing non-conforming material requires rigor. Throwing the parts away can be very expensive. And these are safety-critical parts. So any repairs that are non-standard must be approved by engineering. So with the workflow, we're now able to get the right information to the right people to make the right decisions. And we have a true picture of quality. In the event that the defect is actually caused by a supplier, we extend that out to the supplier. We can issue a corrective action and follow up with an audit. And in the event that the supplier is determined to be at fault, not only do we get recovery for that part, but we issue an administrative fee on top of that just to cover the transactional burden. And if the supplier continues to be an issue, they can be disqualified, which will prevent future POs from being placed on that supplier. So now with our integration and our connection of the quality control data with the quality management data, we're able to bridge that gap and automate our quality processes. This reduces the manual data entry and makes sure that information is captured in a timely fashion and that it's accurate. With the notifications, we're able to take rework action immediately, which means I don't have to tear down that equipment or reset up that equipment, which reduces the retooling costs. And finally, with the workflow, we can make better rework decisions because we're able to get that information into the right hands to make those decisions. All of these things help us improve our on-time delivery. And finally, by extending it out to the supply chain, we are able to, over time, actually improve the performance of our suppliers. So it's still early for us, but the results are very promising. We are able to see now a whole hidden factory that was unexposed before. And what that means is we've seen an increase of visibility to defects by 75%. And by doing so, we can work the process and reduce that non-conforming material cycle time by 30%, which is an average of 6 days. We expect that we'll have a 50% reduction in those retooling costs because we don't have to reset up the machines in order to do the rework. And overall, we'll see a continued trend of cost of quality improvement by an additional 15%. So what's next for Wabtec? Well, the first is we need to take this solution and expand it to other factories that could benefit of connecting that quality control data with the quality management system. And with enough data, we can leverage machine learning on our quality processes to drive automation and decisions in a much timelier fashion on those non-conforming material parts. And looking to the future, we'll see artificial intelligence used way back in product development and in the design phase, because we can use all of this data to help improve our designs up front and avoid additional quality issues. Thank you for your time this morning.